All right, everybody, welcome back to our real estate flipping course. In Module 8, we planned your renovation. You built a scope of work, you estimated costs, you created a timeline, and you prepared your contractor plan. Now it's time for the real world because planning is easy, execution is where investors separate themselves. In this upcoming module, we're covering how to oversee contractors and subcontractors, how to manage change orders and unexpected issues, how to keep your project on budget and on schedule, and the exact quality control and inspection process top investors use. This is the module that protects your profit. Let's get started. So, Section 1, overseeing contractors and subcontractors. When your renovation actually begins, your job shifts from planner to project manager. A successful project manager doesn't just hire contractors, they guide them, communicate with them, and hold them accountable. Your responsibilities as a project manager: keeping everyone aligned with the scope of work, monitoring progress, approving materials and finishes, scheduling trades in the right order, making payment decisions, solving issues before they slow down the job. If you're new, this can feel overwhelming, but trust me, with structure, it becomes very simple. So, the contractor communication rhythm is what we like to call it. Top investors use a consistent system. Daily, a quick text update, photos from the contractor, confirm tomorrow's tasks. Weekly, on-site walkthrough, review progress for his timeline, approve any upcoming materials, and identify potential delays early. Then there's milestone-based types of communication, such as approving work before paying and sign off on each completed phase. This rhythm keeps contractors honest and keeps you in control. So even if you hired a general contractor, understanding the upcoming sequence matters for scheduling subcontractors properly. The typical order is demo, then framing and structural repairs, plumbing, electrical, HVAC rough-ins, inspections, drywall, interior paint, cabinets and trim, flooring, final fixtures and appliances, final paint touch-ups, and then your punch list of whatever's left over. If trades overlap in the wrong way, chaos will definitely follow. You'll have delays, damage, and cost overruns. Nothing will drive you more crazy when you install brand new flooring and then they are coming in to paint the walls after that, and you see a lot of this paint on your new flooring because they didn't cover up properly. This next little section I want to jump in before we get to the next section is just the red flags of failing contractors. So some things to watch for very early when working with a new contractor is missing days or showing up late, asking for more money ahead of schedule, poor communication, the quality of their work is just slipping, making excuses instead of solutions, and just simply not following your scope of work. If you see any of these, address the issues immediately, because bad contractors get more expensive the longer you wait. Section 2 of this module is managing change orders and surprises. Every renovation will have surprises. The key is not avoiding them, it's learning how to manage them. So what is a change order? A change order is a modification to the original scope of work, a cost change, a timeline change. For example, you discover a rotten subfloor. You decide to upgrade finishes. The city requires additional work for some sort of code they're working on. So the golden rule of change orders: nothing gets done without approval in writing from both sides. That means description of the added or changed work, cost increase or decrease, additional timelines if applicable, and signatures or text confirmation. And of course, you want the date and the time logged of any of these change orders. This just protects you and your contractor. So if there are multiple things in a change order, what do you fix first? When these kind of surprises hit, you have to prioritize them. So what we do is level 1 is safety and code. Fix immediately. Foundation, electrical hazards, plumbing leaks, mold. That's level 1. Level 2 is systems integrity. Roofing, HVAC issues, structural support. And then level 3 is just cosmetic enhancements. They're nice to have, but they're really just optional. Granite instead of quartz, adding accent walls, upgrading fixtures. You control profit by controlling level 3 decisions, But level 1 and level 2 are high priority. You're not going to get the house sold and have a lot of inspection issues with these level 1 and level 2 issues. A simple rule to follow as well is what we call avoiding death by 1,000 cuts. New investors lose thousands because they say, oh, it's only $300. Oh, it's only $500. But say 10 of these only $500 changes add up to be $5,000. 20 of those, $10,000. And that kills deals. So stick to your scope of work, stick to your finishes plan, and stick to your budget ultimately. Which brings us to section 3 of this module, staying on budget and timeline. Budget and timeline are the heartbeat of a profitable flip. Let's break down how professionals prevent the projects from dragging out. Number 1, the budget tracking system. You need a simple repeating system. Track every expense in a spreadsheet, label each expense by category, compare the actual versus budget weekly, flag overspending immediately, and stop the project and reassess if you exceed contingency. Treat your project like a business, not a hobby. Number 2 is the payment release strategy. This alone will save you thousands. Payments should be released only after work is completed, only after you see it with your own eyes, and only if it matches the scope of work quality. Never release money because of, I need to pay my guys. Trust is great, but documentation is way better. Last up is keeping the timeline tight. Time kills deals because every week costs you interest, utilities, insurance, taxes, risk of market changes. So to stay on track, confirm what's happening tomorrow every evening. Order materials early, schedule inspections proactively, do a weekly timeline review, and address delays within 24 hours. Most delays happen because no one is steering the ship. You are the captain. So how to recover from delays? When a delay hits, identify the cause, determine if you can overlap trades safely, bring in extra labor only if it's cost effective, update your timeline in writing, and communicate changes to all trades. Never just wait and hope it speeds up. Hope is not a strategy. On to section 4 of this module, which is quality control and inspections. This is where you protect your reputation and your resale value. So there are 3 levels of quality control. Level 1 is the ongoing walkthroughs. This is where you catch issues early. The tile alignment, paint lines, cabinet leveling, outlet height, flooring gaps. Quality fixed early is cheap. Quality fixed late is expensive. Level 2 of quality control is the pre-inspection review. Before city inspectors arrive, if applicable on what you're doing, you want to confirm the rough ends are complete, check smoke detectors, verify GFCI outlets, ensure handrails and steps meet code, and walk with your contractor and review everything. Failing inspections cost time and money because they have to come back out and re-inspect again, and it could be another 2 weeks. And the last level is the final punch list. A punch list is your cleanup checklist. Examples, paint touch-ups. Maybe someone missed caulking behind the sink. A little bit of cleaning can go a long way if you're about to resale and flip it, obviously. Replacing damaged outlets that maybe the faceplate cover was damaged or a screw, cracked it in some way. Fixing scratches on a wall that some appliance was coming through and just scuffed a wall that was coming in. And maybe there was trim or somewhere that just needed completed. So that's just your final punch list. Do not release final payment until all punch list items are complete. This is just non-negotiable items. The next up in this section is the buyer's perspective, and I am a huge proponent on this because generally whenever me and my partner are doing this, he does a lot of the day-to-day of the flipping and managing the contractors, and then I kind of scoop in at the end from the buyer's perspective. So always remember your buyer is going to be looking at finishes, craftsmanship, cleanliness, functionality, layout, smells, small details. Quality doesn't cost money, but it makes money. A clean, tight, polished finish sells for more. For example, just last night, I pulled up to one of our flips, and the first thing I noticed was a screen that was torn at one of our flips. And the first thing I tell my partner the next day, Andy, we need to get that screen fixed. We might as well do all the screens on the front because that was the first thing I noticed when I pulled in the driveway. And this last section is just the final walkthrough before hitting the market. Just do one final walkthrough and ask yourself, would I buy this? Would I recommend this flip to a family member? If not, fix it. And that wraps up our Module 9 of project management and renovation execution. This module was all about the discipline and the leadership of overseeing contractors effectively, managing change orders and surprises, staying on budget and timeline, and delivering a quality that builds your reputation. If you follow this system, you'll flip projects faster, cleaner, and more profitable than 90% of new investors.